Thank you to Capcom for sponsoring this video. The Nintendo Switch 2 launch has been super fun, and I've been trying to experience everything new that this console is bringing to the table. One of my favorite new features about Switch 2 has got to be mouse mode. And by far, the best game I've played on Switch 2 utilizing mouse mode is Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. This is genuinely an extremely unique and well-made title that, because of its extremely interesting blend of different genres, plays like a dream on Switch 2 using the mouse mode you get with the Joy-Con. In this video, I'm going to be going over why Kunitsu-Gami is such a hidden gem amongst the Switch 2's launch lineup, and how it is quite literally the perfect game to use mouse controls. Like, it's literally the poster child for this new feature. Let's start off with what this game actually is. Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess is developed by the team at Capcom that makes Devil May Cry and Resident Evil. It released in 2024 and honestly flew under the radar as a super unique blend of an action game, a tower defense game, with some awesome base building elements in here. It might sound like I'm just listing off different genres, but Kunitsu-Gami blends together these different gameplay types into an extremely engaging loop. The core objective of this game is to clear each level by purging all the defilement and destroying all the monsters that'll come out at night. This is So, your player character, who takes down the monsters in this game called Seath with their dance-like sword techniques. The combat in this game is super fluid, and you can unlock new moves for So to really fit your playstyle. But what makes this game truly shine is the tower defense elements, because So not only fights, but can also command different villagers. During the daytime, you can rescue villagers entrapped in defilement, and then upgrade them to different roles. You can turn them into woodcutters, which are more melee-based characters, archers, which obviously have better range, and there are so many more unique roles you can unlock too, like the sumo fighter. I love this guy. This is where the tower defense aspect comes in. You can position these villagers anywhere you want on the battlefield. However, with Switch 2 and mouse mode, that becomes so much easier. Check out this footage right here. I'm playing the game normally using the normal split Joy-Con setup for combat, but as soon as I want to position my units, all I need to do is simply rotate my wrist, and mouse mode is automatically turned on, allowing me to adjust my units on the battlefield with a much higher level of precision than you can get with the analog stick. Seriously, it is so fluid to switch between controller and mouse mode for this game, and due to the incredibly unique blend you'll find here between tower defense gameplay and action combat, being able to switch between control methods instantly on the fly for more micro adjustments is extremely helpful in combat and just feels so fluid. There's really no other way to describe it. This game is a port that came out last year, but it feels like this is how it was meant to be played. Mouse mode is just a dream in this game, and it works so smoothly. But where do you want to actually position your troops? Well, that's where this game's subtitle, Path of the Goddess, comes in. This right here is the goddess, and you have to protect her from all the monsters that'll come in at night. Your goal is to carve a path for the goddess. I see what you did there, Capcom. And eventually lead her all the way to the end of the level. During the day, you can explore the level, command your troops to set up reinforcements, and the goddess will move along the spirit path that you've carved out. However, at night, she stops moving and sets up shop, meaning you have to position all your troops to defend her from the incoming Seath monsters that'll try and take her down. There's a decent amount of depth to the tower defense gameplay here. For example, the goal is to get the goddess to the end of the path, so you might think you just want to send her as far as she can walk during the daytime, but oftentimes you'll want to halt the goddess's movement to put her in a more strategic and beneficial position for the combat. For example, I used some of my troops here to build up this reinforcement, and now I'm going to halt the goddess right before it, so the reinforcement can help protect the goddess and my archers, which I can use mouse mode to instantly place behind the reinforcement, making the nighttime combat section a lot more easier to handle. This game is constantly introducing new mechanics, and one of my personal favorite things about the game is the consistent stream of new monsters you'll have to fight with some of the coolest character designs I've just ever seen. The monster design here is top notch. It's exactly what you'd expect from this team at Capcom, and the bosses too, man. The bosses are sick. Mouse mode actually comes even more in handy with the bosses. For example, this boss here is a flying boss, so I've turned a decent amount of my troops here into archers because they can obviously hit the flying units. With mouse mode, I can instantly reposition these archers into a more advantageous position, specifically putting them up here on this high ground so they don't get hit by the enemies. When this boss attacks, he'll drop down from the air and occasionally get stuck on the ground, which is where you want to really lay into him when attack. Once again, mouse mode here is perfect. As soon as the boss opens up his weak point, dropping down to the ground, I switch to mouse mode and instantly reposition all my woodcutter melee characters and bring them over to attack the boss so they can help me lay in some intense melee damage. The action combat and tower defense gameplay blend together together perfectly, but Capcom's not done because there's a whole nother type of gameplay here. Once you clear out a level, that area then turns into your own base, and you use the same villager units that helped you in the combat to upgrade and restore the base to its former glory. The base building phase of this game is a nice break from the intense action combat and helps give you more rewards because there is a lot of different stuff you can upgrade in this title. Every single role you can assign to a different villager has unique upgrades, and you can also add in new buffs to So's stats and give him entirely new moves. For example, I have this move where when I press the trigger, I get teleported straight back to the goddess, which is good for the super intense levels because I can get pretty aggressive and leave the goddess, but if the enemies break through all my defenses and start attacking her, with one click of a button, I'm straight back there able to defend her. All of the different unique upgrades, plus the base building that allows you to restore these beautiful locations to their former glory, give Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess a really intoxicating sense of progression that, from my experience, makes the game pretty difficult to put down. There's also just an incredible attention to detail in this title. The entire game is based around Japanese folklore and tradition, with unlockables that really emphasize that, like lore entries for all of the monsters, along with a full-on model viewer that allows you to really appreciate the attention to detail in the character design here. You can also unlock different suites. This is the type of stuff I just love in games. Like, this doesn't actually do anything. They don't help you in the combat, but you can just unlock different suites and then view the high-quality models. And especially with the power of Switch 2, they look so good that I genuinely want to unlock them all just to see what awesome Japanese-inspired sweet treats there are in this game. Speaking of which, this game runs like an absolute dream on Switch 2. There have been no performance issues while I've been playing, and the game just looks incredible. There's also this photo mode with a ton of options that really lets you get some nice looking shots. Even beyond just how it runs, I have to mention this again. The mouse mode in this game really sold me on the entire concept for Switch 2. This is by far the best Switch 2 game utilizing mouse mode I've played yet. It honestly feels like this game was made for mouse mode because, again, this game blends two different unique styles of gameplay between action combat and tower defense. One of those styles of gameplay, you're gonna want a controller. The other one, you're gonna want the micro adjustment precision you get with a mouse. Only on Switch 2 do you get a control method that you can seamlessly switch between, giving you both of those two options. And Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess is all the better for it. If you enjoy interesting, unique games that just try something new, then this is the game for you. I have not played anything like Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. In an era where far too many video games feel kind of similar to each other, Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess stands out with its innovative blend of gameplay, meticulous attention to detail, and super unique progression system, which, by the way, you get in a package of $40. In the era of Switch 2 game prices, getting a game with this many unique styles of gameplay and this much content for $40 is a steal. It's a great value. If you're looking for a game that'll show you the true power of Switch 2 mouse mode, or if you just want to play a unique, incredibly well-designed hidden gem of a title, check out Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess on Nintendo Switch 2. Use my link in the description or the pinned comment to learn more about the game. And once again, thank you to Capcom for sponsoring this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at an absolute hidden gem on Nintendo Switch 2 that you might not have seen thanks to all the chaos of a new console launch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and check out the video on screen right now for more Switch 2 coverage. With that out of the way, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm Thomas from the Switch Stop signing off. Peace.